Alright, so I haven't done a reaction video in quite a while and I came across this thing. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly actually, but it's called something like Juego Todo. Anyways, you can see it on screen. And this is a term for full contact stick fighting, I guess, and it's conducted in a cage. It's actually, this fight is happening at an MMA event, most likely somewhere in the Philippines, perhaps Manila or somewhere else. We're gonna watch this fight, but before we get into that, I'm gonna provide just a little bit of context about my own experiences in terms of stick fighting, and that means very little experience for the record. So I haven't trained any Filipino martial arts, eskrima, kali, arnis, whatever you want to call it, but I have learned some stick fighting concepts from Kung Fu, just very few, and in addition to this, I've also translated a lot of my empty-handed combat skills into using them with a stick. And for this reason, I've shared this video as well to teach some of those concepts. And some of the stuff I do is stuff I've also learned from studying tutorials on eskrima, but a lot of my mechanics are quite different from Filipino martial artists, and that's also why this video isn't called something like eskrima techniques or kali. And if you want to learn from the best, I believe you should learn probably from Filipino sources. That said, as you can see here in this clip, I'm applying the hooking capabilities of the stick to raise the leg of the opponent and then get a takedown with the sweep. And there's a lot of things you can do with the stick. If you know how to fight empty-handed combat, you also will know something about fighting with the stick, especially if you have a lot of experiences with other weapons and are used to adapting to different reaches and stuff. That said, I highly recommend studying the actual sources of stick fighting from Filipino martial arts. Anyways, before we get into the full contact fight, I just want to show this video, a little bit of it. And this clip is from the movie Rambo 3, which was actually my first introduction via Hollywood to stick fighting. And it's not very realistic, but pretty entertaining, this clip. And the speed has been altered and it's been edited for the purpose of the video. But as you can see here, I did one time try some full contact stick fighting, and it was quite a frightening experience actually. But I was early on in my journey with the channel, and I was outdoors ready to record some content when I came across this underground stick fighting group who were training out in the open, and I knew I wanted to test myself because I always try to do that, and I also wanted to record some interesting concepts, so I agreed upon the challenge of facing some of the guys. And this guy on the left was a Krav Maga trained guy. I've since done some Krav Maga training, but it was quite intimidating facing a Krav Maga guy, as I know they're pretty hardcore, and especially my first time fighting with a stick, full contact. That went okay, but this one with a female opponent, that was way more brutal on me. And what happened was actually that the instructor was telling her to go full power, and pretty much normally when you're fighting full contact, be it with a stick or empty-handed combat, you're not going to throw full force with every single strike. It's going to depend on your fighting style, but still, no one's gonna go full force with everything. But you typically want to set things up like either with a quick jab or something, or even with a stick. You might want to do something like this, like a quick strike. But this girl, she was just swinging full force, and as I didn't have a lot of experience with the sticks, I wasn't able to take advantage of that either. So I got hit pretty damn hard, and I tried to just maintain distance. I was just waiting for the round to finally end. And at one point, she came really close, and we'd agreed upon only fighting with the sticks and that I couldn't use my kicks. But instinct kicked in right here, I think. Yeah, I went for a side kick and put her on the ground, which just pissed her off further. And she definitely punished me for the rest of this round. So actually one of my more intense experiences early on, having started this channel, was facing a female competitor or martial artist. And yeah, you can see we're wearing quite thick gloves, hockey style gloves, which the fighters in this video are as well. But even though I was wearing these extremely thick gloves, her strikes hurt, and actually my thumb and nail was split open, so I was bleeding when I took off the glove. So that says everything about the kind of power she was throwing into these strikes with the wooden sticks. Anyways, let's watch the fight. So this is at an MMA event. And you can see they're using two different types of guards. The guy in the blue is covering high and low. One thing that's very different from empty-handed combat is obviously the reach. And he uses the strike to set up a kick, similar to how you might throw a cross and continue the momentum into a kick. Now, because the reach is so different, it also means that the footwork at times is a lot more dynamic in order to get out of reach and get out of range and into range to land strikes and to protect yourself. So it's not like these small steps you see in boxing.
MMA is also
trying to set up a low kick. And I wish there was some replays here. It's difficult to tell, but I think they haven't landed that much yet. And definitely from my experience, getting hit with the stick really hurts a lot. And it's more of a sharp, instant pain compared to getting hit with a body part like a punch or a kick. Yeah, and especially these guys are not covering their skin in the torso or the leg areas, so definitely painful once those sticks connect. And even with adrenaline, because I was experiencing a lot of adrenaline the one time I was sparring full contact with these, and it still hits you. It still hurts a lot in spite of the adrenaline, I can tell. But these guys are true warriors and probably used to that.
Okay, guys, that's it for the first round.
And so we go into round 2. The rounds feel kind of short. Ah, interesting. Okay, okay. So you'll notice the first round they were using 2 sticks, and now they're using a single stick. And at one point with the 2 sticks, one of the guys did something I like a lot, which was like he did one swing and then turned into similar to a spinning back fist. There's not a lot of space to demonstrate this here. Boom, and then I think he delivered a third swing as well. So that's a nice technique that I really like a lot. And let's see, now they're using just a single stick, and you'll notice they're leading with the same side they're carrying the stick in. So they're operating both of them from southpaw stance, which means they're probably right-handed. Some clinching. He tries to go for a takedown, but he's too far away. You don't want to move in too quickly and get caught with any of that. When you get stung to the face, the headgear is protective, but it makes an awful sound, like a metal type of sound.
Alright, that's it for the second round. We did that. We're going to go to the third and final round before we go.
Alright, so the third and final round coming up. So we have one round with 2 sticks, one with single stick, and this is empty-handed striking. And I want to notice if they're operating from the same stance as before. So before, both of them were leading with the stick from a southpaw stance. So now, I guess one guy with the red shorts, he's still in a southpaw stance and the other guy is in an orthodox stance. This might indicate that the guy with the red shorts is mostly used to fighting with a stick, but it might also be some Jeet Kune Do training or something else. He lands a kick while retreating. Let's watch this one more time. That's a difficult thing to do, to land a kick while retreating. Nice. Superman punch, and they're grappling and trying to go for a guillotine, but it's not there. Nice defense. But the guy on the button has got half guard position, but this isn't good. Almost gave away his back and trying to pass the guard. And going to mount. And looks like he's trying to isolate the arm, perhaps go for... Yeah, now he can go for perhaps an arm triangle. If you can apply the pressure, and that's it. He was able to apply enough pressure, even though the technique, the leverage could have been increased by moving into side control while maintaining the hold, but that's enough. He choked out the opponent and he wins the fight. This was interesting, so I'd love to see more of this in combat sports, so we see them really test themselves both with double weapons like 2 sticks as well as a single stick, and in empty-handed combat, both standing and on the ground. And you'll see the opponent has a staff, kind of like Donatello, but it would also be pretty cool to watch one of these guys use a staff. Now, if you would like to watch most likely a sparring video or possibly perhaps a full contact fight if I feel it's safe enough to set up and stuff, then let me know in the comments and I might give this kind of format a go, but not with those wooden sticks which hurt like a bitch because I've already tried that once and that was enough. But I have some foam covered batons which you may have seen previously in sparring videos on this channel, and I would love to do like a competitive match with one of my martial arts friends where it's the same type of format, like a first round with double sticks. If I can purchase 4 sticks, although that's a little bit expensive, but I love to do it. And then the next round, singles stick, and the third and final round would be empty-handed sparring or fighting. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that type of content. And also, finally, I want to show you one final thing which I'm pretty excited about. So, I finally found out how to set up my Patreon account. So now you can support me on Patreon. I've been sharing free content since 2015 now, like literally hundreds of videos, and even in like viral videos like the 5 million views video Kung Fu and UFC, I've responded to pretty much every comment. And I do this because I'm very passionate about making a positive impact as well as sharing my passion to entertain. But unfortunately, martial arts, you don't earn a lot from that on YouTube, especially not if you're me for some reason, because although I get around 100,000 views or more per month, I still only make around 600 crowns from AdSense per month. And just so you know, that's about $100, I think. So that's maybe possibly a tenth of what I pay in rent. So now I have the Patreon account set up, and there's 3 ways you can support me. Either as a Zen-Dragon supporter, where you can join this tier, and that means every month you pay $3. And even though that isn't something that isn't a lot and you probably won't notice, if a lot of people pay this amount eventually over the next couple of years, then I'm gonna get to a level where it's gonna make a huge impact and it's gonna allow me to sustain this channel and keep up the rate of consistency which I've been delivering thus far, but which is getting harder and harder to keep up, especially now that I've become a father. And also, you can become a Tiger patron or patron, and that's $5 per month, so a little bit more. And as a Tiger patron, you get an open invitation to meet up with me in Copenhagen, and we can train or simply talk martial arts or something. And all you'll need is to join this Tiger tier, and of course we'll need to arrange the meetup. Now, I know a lot of you won't be able to travel to Copenhagen, but it's an extended invitation, so maybe years from now down the road. And either way, you will get an instant shout out for the next upcoming video if you decide to be a Tiger patron. Now, finally, there's the option of a Dragon patron. So that's if you feel like you want to really support the channel, then it's $10 per month. Again, it's probably not gonna affect your economy, but it's still $10, so it's something substantial, like you could buy I don't know, a sandwich or more or less. Let me know in the comments. But if you choose to support with this option, then in addition to a shout out in an upcoming video, you're also gonna get some exclusive content here on Patreon. Namely, it's going to be a live stream, a monthly live stream where we're gonna do Q&A or possibly some training, or gonna share some sparring footage live if I'm able to meet up with someone and we can test ourselves live in front of an exclusive audience. We'll see. That's also up to you what you wanna see featured in these live streams. So if you decide that option, then you can always come with suggestions during the live stream. Anyways, I just want you to know that I appreciate all of you watching, whether you're able to support financially or not. It's gonna make a huge difference if I get some Patreons, which eventually I think I will get more and more. But at first, it's probably gonna help me be able to buy some new equipment. Like for a long time I've been needing a microphone for my camera, and I just bought one, but I could hardly afford it for like half a year, or at least I couldn't justify spending the money on that. And also it's gonna eventually, what I'm hoping for is, if enough people support me here on Patreon, I'm gonna be able to work part-time instead, or altogether quit my regular job and focus that energy on YouTube instead. Because now I have the most important role of my life as a father, and that takes up a lot of time. So during this year I've been able to consistently post a lot of videos, but that's only because I created a lot of those videos prior to becoming a father. And I've still got like 10 videos finished. Actually, I can show you if we click here. These are the videos I've got finished, and I'll be uploading these about once a week whenever it's possible for me to share them. Some boxing, sparring with MMA gloves, some grappling, a lot of sparring in general here, some heavy bag stuff, kickboxing sparring, some more boxing, some kung fu animal style sparring with protective goggles, so which allows for eye pokes and such. I'm trying to open this thing, but it's being pretty slow, so maybe you'll just have to wait and see. Let's see. Yeah, so we can really go for the eyes in this one. And yeah, some more sparring, Savat inspired tutorial coming up. Just about 10 videos here. Once those run out, I'm probably gonna have to slow down a bit on this channel. But the more people who support here on Patreon, the more it makes sense for me to keep finding the time. And don't worry, regardless, I'm gonna keep sharing videos occasionally, even if it can't be continually on a weekly basis. So also, whether you support on Patreon or not, it's a good idea to hit subscribe and also click the bell icon for post notifications. Anyways, go check out my Patreon, whether you wanna hit one of the tiers or not. It's called patreon.com/Zen-Dragon, and there's a lot of stuff about my journey and also some words about why I need this kind of help. That's it. Thanks for watching.